Hello YouTube, today at powerjackrepair.org we got a Cyberpowerpc C series p750dm3. There are a bunch of C series out there, but what happens when you have one of those most painful connectors there are? I quite honestly don't think many of you at home, people who don't do this for a living, could be able to do anything about this connector. So just like to describe to you the common issue here. This is a 4-pin connector. If yours is just 1 pin, it's fixable. Look at our other videos. It's pretty much straightforward process. This guy requires 16.9 amp adapter. There are 2 pluses and there are 2 minuses. The 2 pins are 2 minuses and the 2 upper pins are pluses. So the upper pins are pluses, bottom ones are minuses. The situation here is that it's almost impossible to properly desolder this connector from the motherboard. It's possible, I've done it before, but it requires so much heat that I don't think you guys would be able to do it at home. If you just have soldering iron, if you don't have the hot air station, I've done it, but I don't think you can do it. So this is one of those. I got 1,000+ videos of different laptop jack repairs, but this jack is a real pain to take out of from the motherboard. Make sure you're not gonna lose any of those padding here. Now I have a video where it says the most over-engineered laptop there is, and I show you how to take a laptop like that apart. By the way, why do I have focus on? Autofocus on. And that video shows how you can take this whole thing apart. This laptop for some reason has 2 connectors for keyboard. For some reason. Hold on 1 second. Alright, had to turn off the autofocus because it's pissing me off. So the situation here is you see how 2 black pins are blackened right there, and they don't really gonna conduct anything anymore. So you have to replace this piece. Now, some of those boards have another dot right here in the back. That means if you have one empty dot right here, you can install a different socket in here. A different socket will guarantee you that it's gonna be working fine. That different socket is gonna be compatible with this type of connector. This is 2.5 by 5.5, but this guy you can't really mount anything else in here besides this connector. Most of you, some of you, are shipping me those motherboards with the connector that you spend $100 on, $50 on. There are people who sell this type of connector. Well, there are people who sell the connector for this laptop for anywhere between $50 to $100, $110 from China. Now, when I get those motherboards or the laptop with those connectors, all of them don't fit simply because there is a slight difference between the connectors for sale. Even if you buy one from the manufacturer from Germany, it's gonna come with the incorrect connector. The way you can see the incorrect connector, you see this like has a vertical, like this is a vertical one right here. Vertical, 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 vertical. They're all kind of like this knife right here, you see? But the ones you are buying and sending to me have, instead of those vertical guys, they have round pins like that. And those round pins, they don't really go through the motherboard here. They don't go through the motherboard because this motherboard was not designed for the round pins. This was designed for the flat connectors like that. So technically right now, I know who makes this and I know where to get them. But the quote they gave me, basically I have to order 1,000 of those and it's going to be $10,000. And how many laptops like that are out there? You know, I don't want to spend $10,000 just so that I would have a few connectors like that specific to this model, you know, laying around. So I can't provide the service of this particular model to replace this particular jack on a motherboard, shove exactly the same one in, because I don't want to spend $10,000 on 1,000 pieces like that. Yeah. And everything for sale on internet, you will see it has a round dots right here, round, round, round. And none of those are gonna fit this motherboard. So there are a couple of solutions. One is explained in the video, the most over-engineered laptop there is. It's on my channel here someplace. The other solution I want to do today, I never tried it before. I got those connectors right here. I had them laying around, and I figured what I can do is also made by Singatron, same as this. So my assumption that the layout should be the same. And the layout is the same because my understanding that the bottom pins are minuses and the top pins are pluses, all right? Right, so the top pins are pluses, minus, minus, and minus. One thing to keep in mind is that those minuses right here, sometimes they are not conducting with those minuses for some reason right here. So even if you connect the wire right here to this guy, it might not conduct the electricity down there. That's shown on my prior video. So if you want to connect the negative wire, you're better off connecting the negative wires here and here. That way you'll have a negative connection. All right. So this is positive right here. So this guy is positive and that guy is positive. This is negative and this guy is negative. So negative, negative, positive, and positive. And on this end, this is the positive, positive, and positive. And so what I want to do is I want to connect this guy on the outside and have the okay, so the negatives are on the bottom and the positives are on the top. So you see that's the layout right here. So I will run the positive wires from here to here and the negative from here to here. And because the thing is, almost always the plug that goes into this jack is worn out. And sometimes it's just easier to modify the plug, like I showed in the previous video, and the jack. But this client, he bought a brand new power supply that's compatible with this jack. So he got a brand new power supply. He already spent 100 something or $200 on the new power supply. So that's the reason I'm putting this guy on the outside, not some generic connection here. Because if the client already has a new power supply, I don't have to modify anything on the new power supply, which I don't have here. This board came from Canada, and it's really expensive to ship back and forth from Canada to United States and from United States back to Canada. So the whole logistics thing is more expensive than me fixing this guy and putting this guy on. Now let me show you half of the video, I guess. Let me just desolder this guy, and hopefully it's gonna pop right out, which I doubt. All right, so I'm insulating the whole area around the jack so that none of the components will fall off the motherboard. Nothing will get overheated. Nothing will be fallen off. All right, like that. And like that. Looks good to me. All right, let's try and add a whole bunch of heat right there. was thinking I was under impression that I put it on the pause, but no, I didn't. All right, so let's see if we can do something about it. The goal is to add a little bit more solder to those points, which is probably not gonna do much, but let's take a look. And we're just gonna add the all right, so that's the hot air from the top. Hopefully it's not gonna cause too much vibration. All right. Doing everything possible so you'll be able to see everything here. All right. All right. Let's begin. Power up the hot air. Vibrations on the screen. Well, kind of, but not as bad. All right. So what we're doing is we're heating up this whole area. And then we're adding as much solder as we can. Because if you're trying to remove it on a dry, I mean, again, this is not an easy connector to remove. Especially if you don't. The original soldering points are lead free based. Lead free based means probably silver based solder is what they used. All right. And the silver based solder has a much higher melting temperature than the leaded based solder. So once you introduce the leaded based solder to the equation right here, all right, we should be able to remove this guy. All right. So we're gonna boost up the heat, boost up the airflow, take this guy off. And hope that it's gonna come out somehow. Yeah, huh. Good luck. Yeah. Some would say first you need to suck all the solder out, and then you need to use the hot air. No, that's not how it works. This is really not an easy breezy beautiful solution. So here. You see, even the nozzle of my hot air is not big enough to cover the entire surface of the connector. Come on, it's not even moving, even a tiny bit. Not even a tiny bit, not even anywhere. Nope. Oh, it's moving on the front. Doesn't move on the sides. Probably because on the other sides, the sides are holding just fine. Alright, let's do it. Come on. Yeah, nothing is going on here. Alrighty, so I increased the airflow, hoping that it's gonna do something to aid the whole removal process. And it doesn't. Nope, pointless. That's the maximum heat. Maximum. Well, not so much maximum airflow. There's no point making it maximum airflow simply because there's not going to be as much heat running through. Come on. Come on. Come on. Nah. Can be. You know what? I need to look at my prior video and see how I removed this guy back then. Nope. Pointless. Okay. So we're gonna shut down the hot air because it's not working out for me. Probably I cut it, you know. That's what I probably did in my prior video. I probably cut the connector off and then extracted each piece by one. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the solution. I will try another trick in a second. Alright, let's try a smaller nozzle. And let's try heat up just half of the board. And let's add a little bit more flux everywhere. Alright. Yeah, I don't know, unless you cut the whole thing from the top and remove everything piece by piece, I don't see a really easy way to get this guy out of here. Because I tried the big nozzle, trying the small nozzle. I don't know what else I can do here. I mean, you could preheat the whole board, but then other components gonna fly off the motherboard, probably. Probably not, let's see. Yeah, the board isn't even hot anywhere else. It just absorbs all the heat inside and doesn't even let anything go out anywhere. Yeah, I guess maybe you just need to preheat the whole thing. Alright, so those guys are moving, okay, right here. Those guys are moving, so we just need the sides to start and move. Oh yeah, okay. So we need to do piece by piece. Like that, come on. Go, yep. And go. Go. Come on. Alright, so the small nozzle. Alright. Okay. Alright. Come on. Come on. Alright, good job. Shit. Alright, so what I need to do again is add a little bit more flux, a little bit more solder, and go for a second round. But you see, what I mean, it does take forever. So not as easy as 1, 2, 3. Right. So we're gonna add a little bit more here. Alright, but the whole connector started to move. That's a really good sign. Meaning it's all gonna go just fine from here on. Let's try and switch the hands right now. Alright. Forgot to put the protection on for my sleeves, because all of this solder is gonna be alright. Let's see if it came out already. Nope, it didn't. Shoot. I was so sure that... All right. Anyways, let me put my protection for the sleeves on. All right, let's keep going. All right, so now the point is to rock this guy a little bit. The way you rock it by, I prefer a longer. It's so hot in there. Camera is in the way. Yeah, that's not exactly what I wanted. All right, let's put more flux again. More flux, meaning the whole thing gonna supposed to come out a bit easier. Right. Yeah, without soldering iron, it's pointless. Soldering iron gives the extra juice that's necessary to move this guy. Yeah, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Yep, almost there. Come on. Yep, 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 yep. All right, so just here on the back, a little bit. Come on. If this one goes through, I would be able to... Now you should understand, I don't really put any pressure on the soldering iron. It's pointless. I'm just trying to find this edge of the jack so that in case I can push it from top down on the leg of the jack. Yep, like that. So the whole thing moves. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Good job. All right, let's see if I can do anything from the top here, because this is already, the bottom is already exhausted. Here, let's see if by blowing something on the side here, we can lift this guy up. Okay. Okay. All right, you see? Easy. I'm just kidding. No, this is, guys, this is only done at places like this. I don't think really anyone can get this done at home. If you haven't done any desoldering work before, this is probably this is probably not the time to start desoldering anything. Alrighty, so here is the situation. Let's try and clean up this. Oh, strange, I don't have any thicker. I don't have any thicker. Alright, the most important part is right here. Alright. Alright, for some reason this doesn't want to get desoldered, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some fresh solder right there, right there, right there, and right there. And try and desolder this whole thing right now. But still nothing good comes out of it. Probably because the board is extra thick. That's the reason why nothing wants to be desoldered here. No big deal. We're gonna flip the board and try and desolder it from the other side. For us, the most important are the four connections in the middle. Beautiful. Let's see if I can get one of those also freed up. Nope. Oh, yeah, the board is too thick. Anyway, enough frying this board. Let's reduce everything back to. All right, let's remove all of that stuff. No, the board didn't even warm up. But the area right there around the board, I'm pretty sure it's pretty well warmed up. So the goal is to clean this guy up as much as possible. All right. Ready? Okay. Let's clean up this area as well. All right. What I'm cleaning up is the flux, because the flux is what looks bad in here. Even though it says no clean flux, which you can basically just leave on the motherboard, no big deal. But I mean, I'm making videos here, so everything has to look nice and cute. All right, let's do one more time. Right here and right there. Good, good. Even though technically we're not even installing a new jack here, which for me would be easier just to put a new jack inside and be done with it. But since there is no jack like that on the aftermarket, this is what, and I don't think anybody will ever put this jack on the aftermarket, because if I don't have it, I don't think anybody else is gonna spend so much money on ordering 1,000 of those connectors. Even the manufacturer doesn't have it, I can guarantee you that. You see again, those are kind of like straight holes that are right there. And this, not straight holes, but the ones that have round pieces, they need to be like this round right here. You see this round? Those rounds will go through, but you have to have round here, round here, round there, round there. Instead, we got the straight ones. So, unfortunately, this is what we have to deal with. So now I'm gonna put 4 wires, two on the negative. Negatives are right here. This is the negative, that's the negative, that's the positive right here, and that's the positive. We're gonna run the wires to the outside, and hopefully we will be able to make things work. Alrighty, so I got 4 wires. I couldn't find black wires, so I mean, I got black wires, I just don't have them in thick gauging like that, because this is 16 point something crazy amps in there going through this wiring, so none of the wires are gonna hold unless you're gonna put the thickest wires there are. As you can see, those are so thick that they don't even wanna line up. Let's see if we can line them up. Nope, we can't. Shoot. Too thick. Or maybe we can. Hold on. Nope, we can't. I was hoping this thick gauging. You see how thick they are? Copper is so expensive nowadays, you can't even imagine. I'm not sure, you know, how long the card's gonna cost that much. If one stupid wire costs so much. Come on. Come on. Nope, I have to reduce the thickness a little bit. I really wanted every single one of those wires to conduct the electricity. Instead, I have to reduce the gauging a little bit. Let's see if the green wires are gonna be going through. They are too thick as well. Let me take a look. Yeah, those guys are too thick as well. Ay, 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 ay. I was hoping that I'm gonna do extremely good job here, but instead I will have to cut corners, reducing the gauging. No, maybe not. Hold on 1 second here. See, it goes through this hole. Come on, go through. Go through. Yep. Wonderful. All right, can we reach the ground on the other side? No, we can't. Okay. That sucks. Yeah, well, maybe I can short everything on the ground side on the other side. And that way the connection is gonna be really solid. Hold on 1 second. Let me measure the current right now. Yeah, so right now they're all working together, but I remember they weren't working together on the other repair, so I don't want to mess up. I would really like it to go to one of those holes here. Okay, so I reduced the gauging just a little bit. Let's see if we're gonna be able to push through. And no. All right, you know what? I don't like it like that. Let's try and do something about it. I mean, the laptop came in all the way from Canada. It needs to be working fine. I don't want them to send it to me again from Canada. I understand. I mean, not that like anybody wants to send their laptop again for the repair. Just hoping that. Nope. Nope. Still have to reduce the gauging. There's no way around it. All right. Let's try and reduce the gauging. Right, so the goal is for me to go through this guy right there. Now let me put some solder on the top right here, like that. Come on. All right, so guys, it's hardly soldering through. Wow. Do you want me to solder it under the... Unbelievable. Yeah, you have to use whole bunch of flux here to solder this guy up. Yeah. Anyways, this is just pre-soldering. This is just to make sure that this wire won't be going anywhere. Let me see if I could put the second wire. So the greens in this case are negative. No? No, obviously not. I was hoping that be together right here, but okay. Come on, you were just fitting in and there. Come on. Reduce the gauging already. What else do you... Oh. Nope. Nope, just my luck. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna run half the wire to this guy and half through the hole. Let's solder those guys up a little bit. Okay. So we'll have a solid connection here. All right. Now on the flip side, what we're gonna do is put this guy like that. Okay. And what we're gonna do next is something like that. Okay. Something like that. And now I wanna make sure that the wire are gonna be sitting on this end right here. Right here. All right, so that's gonna be enough for 16.9 amps for sure. So that's the grounds right here. The ground will be just fine. Yep. All right. No. No, 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 no. It shouldn't be laying on its back. It has to be flipped the other way. All right. Let's flip it forward a little bit. Okay, good job. All right, so this guy's gonna go like that. Good. Alrighty. Now let's reduce the gauging on the red wires and run the red wires through. Alrighty, so I reduced the gauging as much as I could, and every single wire penetrated through right here. So we're gonna solder this guy up here. Alright, let's do. Alright, good job. Let's bring it down so it would be away from the casing. Alright. Okay, so this is gonna be a solid positive wire. Oh, good job. You know what? I wanna add some solder on this end as well, so that it wouldn't be all over the place. Alright, let's do it here. Okay. Alrighty. Good job. Excellent. Good. Really good. Strange. For some reason, I see different picture of. Oh, okay, this wire. So that wire. All right, and I got one more red wire right here. I mean, you could just do one red and one green, but again, so much amperage on those tiny wires. Not really something that gonna last a long time. I mean, if you ever open up the power supply for this laptop, you will see that the wires there are so thick and big, and they just conduct so much amperage through it. All right, I guess I need to even make these guys less, even more. Let me see if. No, come on. Now, I honestly don't know if anybody else does something like what I'm doing here. So But again, if somebody would find this connector for sale someplace that has the straight legs on the bottom, not the round ones, the straight ones, not the round ones, again, not the 4 round ones, but the straight ones, then just let me know, I will buy for sure, because this is just an extremely time-consuming thing. All right, so this one should be good too. Come on, go through. Wonderful. All right, and this one we're gonna rotate this way. All right, we're just gonna, so even if one of the wires comes off, the second wire gonna conduct electricity just fine in here. All right. Alrighty. So let's solder this guy up here. All right. All right. Good job. Excellent. So this is how you try and make this guy work. And the reason I make the wires extra long so that people in the future would be able to just, you know, hotwire the whole thing if needed. Alrighty. Looks good to me. Let me just double check that there is no shortages. All right, so that's the plus, that's the minus, and this goes here. Yep. All right, looks good. Good work. All right, so the PC is assembled. The reason I didn't make a video about how to assemble it, because I'm a lot under the weather. I went on one of those plane rides. I flew that way to Florida, and everybody was wearing face masks. And then when I was about to fly back, I only went for 2 nights. Nobody was wearing anything. So, and now I'm like trying to catch my breath. So, anyways, what I did was, you see, we got 4 wires right here, right? I stripped the 2 wires and I tested the system to see if it's gonna work off of my power supply right here. So basically, I just set it to 19 volts, and the maximum it can do is 11.6 amps. The laptop needs 16.9, but from 11.6 amps, it was powering up just by using red as a plus, green as a minus, and the thing is I just don't have this tip right here. I mean, once I connect this, I would not really be able to test to see if the system works, but the system works fine. I took some pictures for the client. I can show you the pictures that everything does work. It's just for me to set everything up again. I was setting it up on a different lab, not this one, but the lab downstairs. Here some pictures just so that you would see that everything does work. All right, so here is the system right here, and right there it shows that it's plugged in. Okay, 1 second. And I had to hold the wires like that right here. So, and right there it shows that it goes for updating right here. And the battery was out, so it was running off of the, as you can see, those wires in the back. All right. So the situation now is that I hope once the client, so again, the worst case scenario, clients get the laptop back, his plug is faulty and he would not be able to use this jack. Again, this is a factory connector just like the old one. Only thing is it has wires coming out of the back, which I'm gonna do right now. I will solder those guys right here, and I will solder the red wires to the top right here. Okay. And just in case his plug is faulty, maybe it's oxidated a lot in the holes. Basically, there are holes, and the holes have little metal shiny stuff in there. If that metal shiny stuff not gonna touch on this metal shiny stuff, the whole thing not gonna work. So the worst case he can do is connect this directly to the ground wire on his power supply, and this directly to the plus of his excuse me, plus on his inner wire. Okay, and do the same. You can pretty much do 2 wires here together like that, and 2 wires here together like that. It doesn't work for this jack because this jack has 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. That's the reason we got 4 wires, so that even if one falls off, we got a second ground. Even if one of the pluses falls off, we got the second plus connected right there. So let me show you how I'm gonna get this soldered in here. All right, so let's try the first wire. The holes, again, the holes are too small to put the whole wire through. Let's try this guy out of here. Let's bring it in. I don't know. Nah, doesn't seem like a good. You see, I knew something isn't right. Yeah, that sucks. There is no way I can solder this guy in there. Yeah. Let's try one more time. Let's take a look right now. Very solid connection. I like it. Shoot, I needed to strip another wire. All right, let's do the ground here. And ground I want to do in a special manner. Kind of spread it apart like that. All right. Or maybe I want to put some of them through. Let's see if I can put some of the wires through, because through wiring is usually a lot better than not through wire. Yep, that's gonna go through just fine. Good job. Let's see. Yep, like that, like that. Come on. And let's even wrap some stuff around here. All right. So I would see everything. Okay, good job. You're not gonna see anything though, because I need to see what I'm doing here, but I will show you in a few seconds. All right, let's try and put this guy in there. Wonderful. All right. Let's see how well it's soldered to it. Wonderful, beautiful job. Beautiful job. All right, so that I'm completed. Let's cut the excesses here like that. Okay. All right, let's do the other green wire. Let's see, where is this? The other green wire. Let's see if we can have them have a joint party. Come on, go in there. Good. That's not my level. So here, let's redo this thing. This has to be done on the level. Otherwise, this whole thing isn't worth the money. Not neither the time nor the money. So nope, it's no use in terms of trying to get it through the hole in there. Maybe on the other side. All right, so for the other side, it did go through. Okay. So let's try and solder this whole thing up. All right. Okay. Need to make sure that the wires are not spreading apart too much, so they wouldn't cause a shortage later on. All right, now it's too much spreading, guys. Spreading that much. I need it to be nice and tidy here. All right. Let's find the again, you probably can't see much. All right. So I'm soldering another minus right now. Come on. So the goal is for everything here to connect together, everything. All right. And I think the goal has been achieved. All right. So both wires are connected together. Well, let me Let me pour more flux in between. And I'm just gonna put a little bit more solder in between there. Okay, wonderful. So what I did get is one solid piece here on the minus side. You see, two wires solidly connected together, two connections. All right, so both pins should be well soldered on both sides. Now the only thing remaining is the last positive wire, which I'm gonna connect to the last positive here on the top. Alrighty, one more wire. All right. Okay. Wonderful. Looks fantastic. Better than I expected, honestly. All right, so the last thing left to do is to put a whole bunch of hot glue right here. Put a whole bunch of hot glue into the hole so that in case somebody would be trying to rip the cables out of the hole, it would be impossible to do because the hot glue would hold everything down. And after that, I hope everything's gonna be fine. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. This is how I'm getting this connector to match your connector. And yeah, thanks so much. Oh, by the way, let me see the old one. All right, so yeah, you see, same exact construction, same exact manufacturer. Right there it says, and right there it says. So the only way to mess it up is if you are no, I mean, yeah, so hot glue here, hot glue in there, and everything should be fine. Alrighty. So that's the new connector, right? Right here. Hot glue insulates everything so much that there is no sparking of any sort, so nothing gonna get shorted. So what you do is you just plug in your plug here, unplug it. Worst case, cut the wires and connect it directly. Here we got hot glue, still fresh hot glue, right here. So if you pull on the cable's not gonna come out. You see? So just a preventative. If you pull on it, on this whole assembly, this is not gonna go because the casing is holding it, not the motherboard, the casing. So that's hot glue right there, and some wires right here. So when you go through airport security. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a good day. Leave a like.